New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 107 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Let's go.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Play action. May. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving it.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Back to throw. Milton. And this is incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other, because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line.
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Jets are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead's down to 2 scores now at 16. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Here's May. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. He's the reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and defensively they have to find an answer for him.
And that's what you would do if you were calling plays, right? You'd make sure that he gets targeted. But the thing about it is the route running. That's what makes him so dangerous, is because no matter what is presented defensively, he runs his route with such skill that he's able to go up and get the football.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Pats will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by York is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. He's going to air one out. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Christian Gonzalez. And the Pats will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. And, Charles, you know, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
And, boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting.